It's crazy that Julio César Chavez Jr. got detained, arrested by ICE, and now he's getting ready to get pushed back to Mexico, right? And I'm like, damn, after fighting Jake Paul, that's crazy. So now, Julio César Chavez Sr. is just on and popping. This guy is angry right now at the United States, and he is defending his son after this unexpected arrest. He is saying that Julio César Chavez Jr. is not a criminal. Yeah, you heard that right. Boxing legend Julio César Chavez Sr. Now, he battled so many different opponents. Oh, man, I think he fought almost 115 times in the ring. That's crazy. That's crazy. Complete boxing legend, right? But he is he's finding himself in a entirely different kind of fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's outside of the ring. Right now he's in a fight and he's defending his son. Now, Julio César Chavez Jr., man, this dude got some super serious allegations against him right now. And the former world champion is speaking out about his son. You got what I'm saying? Now, like I said, Junior was arrested by the United States Immigration Agency, right? In Los Angeles. I think he's like 39 years old. He was being detained for allegedly overstaying his visa, lying on a green card application, and he is just facing so many different crazy things. This guy has an arrest warrant in Mexico on charges of trafficking firearms, drug trafficking. He got ties to a notorious Sinaloa cartel. I'm like, damn, these are crazy allegations. Now, of course, his father is like, nah. You know, it's some things that are complicated. There's a lot of talk. But I know that my son is innocent. That's what Chavez Jr. said. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, man. You know, I was like, oh okay. Yeah. He was like, yo, my son can be anything you want, anything. But he's not a criminal. And he's certainly not everything he's being accused of. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. That's what you're supposed to say when your son is being charged with being, you know, a horrible gangster. You feel what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if Cesar Chavez Jr. is a part of the Sinaloa cartel, but I do know, according to what I've read about the Sinaloa cartel, they specialize in organized crime, human trafficking, drug, arms trafficking. I'm like, damn, this crazy monsters, gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Now, there's a part of me that's okay with that type of stuff. Unfortunately, you know, it's something in me that says, hey, you know what? That's not so bad. But I do know that is so bad. You got me? But now, Chavez Sr., he acknowledges that his son involves himself in illicit activity. That's what we're going to say. But he said that don't make him guilty. So I'm like, okay. You know, he was like, look, man, Chavez Jr. knows a lot of people. We live in an environment where it'd be impossible not to know who's doing bad things. But that don't mean nothing. In my time, I met everybody. And they didn't come after me. That's right, Chavez Sr., they didn't. But maybe it wasn't because they didn't want to. Maybe they wanted to, but that wasn't the priority. The way the current president, Donald Trump, the way he's set up right now, is this guy has ICE doing all kinds of things. Arresting, detaining, and shipping people back to Mexico and other places. Got me? So I understand that Chavez Sr. doesn't understand why his son is being ridiculed. But listen, Chavez Sr., it's a difference between you and your son. Chavez Sr. is revered as one of the greatest Mexican boxers that ever lived. I'm talking about of all times. A Mexican GOAT beyond GOATs. He's a 3-division world champion. He was known and super popular in the 80s and in the 90s. And, you know, maybe he was mingling with drug dealers back then. Maybe some of his past friends are infamous drug lords. One that come to mind is a dude named Armando Fuentes. Shouts out to Armando Fuentes. I ain't gonna say why, but hey, you do what you do. Hey, it just is what it is. Or was what it was. But anyway, Chavez Sr., he's expressing his frustration because, you know, the Department of Homeland Security, you know, they just determined that Chavez Jr. is public enemy number 1. They had to go get him, right? They had to arrest him. You know, and he just got detained right after the Jake Paul fight. But Chavez Sr. is like, look, why didn't this happen before the Jake Paul fight? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why did you wait days after the fight to make it an issue? Chavez Sr. like, why they let him fight? My son been paying taxes in the United States for over 3 years, and now in Mexico, and they're accusing him of money laundering. Yeah, he knows some people, but that doesn't mean that he's a drug trafficker. And I think there's a point. That's a major point. Right now, we have an agency, a newly formed agency of ICE, right? It seemed like they knew. But, you know, I'm not literate on these things. And now they're just hell-bent on trying to capture, detain, arrest, deport anyone that they determine is a foreigner. Is that right? I don't know. Is it wrong? I don't know. Will they get me next? I don't know. What I do know, it's been a difficult week if your name is Julio César Chávez. That's what I do know. It's been a difficult month if your name is Julio César Chávez. That's what I know. Now, I read online that they are filing all these types of legal injunctions because what they're trying to do is that they are trying to block Julio César Chávez being extradited to Mexico. They want him to remain on the soil of the United States. His father said, look, man, I'm willing to fight any fight that I need to fight because I'm a warrior. But these lawyers in the United States, they like, look, man, he needs to stay in the United States and we'll go over to Mexico to get him if we have to. I'm like, oh, okay. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Julio César Chávez, one of boxing's iconic figures? Hey, look, this guy is no stranger to adversity. You know, so I see that he's involving himself in a legal fight for his son, which every father should do. It's going to be a tough battle because this is not only Julio César Chávez, it's not only applicable to the sport, but this is dealing with politics. And a lot of times with politics, it's very, very difficult to get your way. These politicians will move in a manner that's unethical, immoral, illegal, and they won't care. They'll do things that are unconstitutional, and they won't care. That's just how it is. So I'm hoping that things work out for Julio César Chávez. What do you think? Do you think things are working out?